cops solve the most twisted case of their lives. Sounds like it's gonna be a good one. Let's go.
What's going on over there?
My mom has passed away. Her neck was broke. I could see that. It was a fall. She must have been trying to go to the store so fast.
Alright, we'll send someone over, okay?
I just don't like the what's one there. No, okay. Did she seem like she's been here for a little while at least?
I want to touch anything until we get some pictures. Yeah, right. But we don't know if that's her shit either. You know, I don't know if that's hers.
When officers first arrived, it looked like an accident, but a series of damning evidence found not just pointed to a well-planned homicide, but by someone closer to home, by someone who was already there before the cops arrived.
I didn't kill anybody. Just let me go.
Is there any reason you would have deleted phone calls on your phone from Miss B?
I don't think I would have.
What's that? Just the emergency.
Oh my. Over here.
Yo, these intros.
They will never ever forget.
Okay.
Okay.
The red door.
Does this to a person.
Alright, come on. You got me hyped.
On January 5th, 2020, police were dispatched to a home after a man made this chilling 911 call.
911, address emergency.
1 Lincoln Square, apartment 10G.
Okay, what's going on over there?
My mom has passed away. Her neck was broke. I could see that. It was a fall. She must have been trying to go to the store so fast.
Alright, we'll send someone over, okay?
Why do you sound so calm? Sus.
Caller was James, and he had just come home to find his mother, Valina Shepard, dead.
Alright, down there at the
You're her son? You're her son?
At the scene were 3 people already present: James, Valina's son, and the 911 caller, Kunashia Anderson, her home healthcare worker, and Kunashia's boyfriend, Lee Williams.
She wasn't answering her phone
What time did you call?
all day, periodically.
What
About
time?
8 times today. The last time about 9 o'clock at night.
Valina was a 62-year-old elderly widow living alone, and when officers arrived, they found her lying on the floor, already deceased.
And I just don't like the what's one there. No, okay. Did she seem like she's been here for a little while at least?
There's no doubt, but I mean, it could have been, 2 hours, could be 6 hours. I don't, we can't gauge that.
Valina Shepard was dressed as if she were about to head out. There were no signs of forced entry, suggesting the killer had a key. The apartment wasn't ransacked, nothing was out of place, and there were no signs of a struggle.
I don't want to touch anything until we get some pictures. Yeah, right. But we don't know if that's her shit either. I don't know if that's hers.
Officers spotted a bloody boot print, and suddenly, this was looking like far more than just a fall.
What does her pocketbook
Homicide.
look like?
It's red.
Red, okay. Is it like big, small?
Ain't that big?
Okay, so like a regular size. Do you know where she keeps that in her apartment?
No, that pocketbook goes everywhere with her.
With her, okay. She's got a red pocketbook. Should be wherever she is. A bright red shoulder strap.
Along with her red purse, Valina's cell phone, laptop, Echo Dot, and several other electronics were missing, pointing to what looked like a robbery gone wrong. To confirm their suspicions, Valina's body was sent for autopsy, and the results were grim. She had been dead for over a day, killed sometime on January 4th. The cause, strangulation, multiple stab wounds, and blunt force trauma so severe it broke her ribs and fractured her skull.
Damn.
The case was officially ruled as homicide.
Hey, do that all to a 62-year-old woman? Like, what's wrong with you? If she ain't do nothing to you, just I feel like maybe she saved up a lot of money, and whoever killed her wanted that money. And well, there's money on the screen, so.
Officers also discovered $1,100 tucked into Ms. Shepard's undergarments.
Money will make you do it.
Noted she was wearing a life vest, a mobile defibrillator designed to shock the heart if its rhythm drops. The device could hold crucial digital data, including the exact time it was last active, potentially pinpointing her time of death. While waiting for the life vest data, investigators began interviewing their suspects, starting with Valina's son, James. James told officers he'd been working at the hospital that day and had missed several texts from Valina's home health aide, Ms. Anderson. When he finally saw them, he decided to check on his mother himself. That's when officers informed him her death had been ruled a homicide, news that left him in tears. His alibi was later checked out, and he was ruled out as a suspect.
Okay.
Next, officers brought in Valina's home health care worker, Ms. Anderson.
No, am I being charged with something? I didn't do nothing. I didn't kill anybody. Just let me go.
Did you talk to Miss Valina on Saturday?
I was talking to Miss Valina.
Like early in the morning or after?
It was early in the morning, like 7:30.
Anderson told officers she had met Lee Williams on a dating app, and he'd been living with her in her apartment. On the day of the murder, she and Valina had counted $1,600, but only $1,100 was found on her body, leaving $500 unaccounted for.
No.
Caretaker wanted some extra money.
My own money. I make $14 an hour. I work over 40 hours.
$14 an hour? That ain't nothing. That ain't nothing.
My direct deposit on Friday was over $600.
Over 600. It's funny because that was almost the same amount that was missing.
I was in my bank account. I would never do that to somebody.
$14 an hour, and you say I got $200 in your bank. $200 in your bank account, ma'am. That is in this economy, ma'am. You are beyond broke.
Somebody who's disabled. This is how she was in her apartment.
That's nothing.
That doesn't do it justice.
To the injuries she sustained.
I would never want Miss Valina to go through that.
Well, she did. What size shoe you wear?
I was so wrong.
I'm just asking.
These are Charles's.
Alright. You have any boots up in your apartment?
Several pairs of boots in Anderson's apartment matched the print found at the crime scene.
She's cooked.
The boots were sent to the lab, along with her phone, which showed multiple messages she'd sent that day, trying to reach Lee Williams. Living just a few floors down with unrestricted access to Valina's home, Anderson remained a prime suspect. To narrow the search, officers pulled Anderson's keycard data from the day of the murder, tracking when she entered and left the building, and paired it with CCTV footage. Officers made a shocking discovery. Anderson's keycard had been used several times that day, but it wasn't her using it. It was her boyfriend, Lee Williams. Even more intriguing, CCTV showed Lee Williams in different outfits throughout the day, sometimes carrying a backpack. Officers decided it was time to bring him in for an interview.
I understand that you had met her, right, and spent some time with her at her apartment. She's been to Q's apartment, right?
Yes.
So what we're trying to establish right now is kind of figure out a timeline of when she might have passed. So when's the last time you saw her, Lee?
Well, the last time I saw her was when me and Q went to her house.
Yep.
And I think that was, Friday or Saturday. Q was trying to get in touch with her to take her to the bank.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because we understand there's probably attempts made to try to get in contact with Miss V on Saturday.
Yes. I called her from my phone, and Q called, and I went up there and knocked on the door a few times.
Is there any reason you would have deleted phone calls on your phone from Miss V?
I don't think I would have.
Well, you said she called you and you called her.
Yeah,
but there's no evidence of that on your phone. You were the last person to see her line. You
That's
understand?
not necessarily true.
It is true.
After the interrogation,
It
officers
is
sent
true.
Lee Williams' phone to the crime lab, now considering him a suspect alongside Ms. Anderson. While further searching the crime scene, officers found a trash chute in the building leading to the basement dumpster. Inside was a red purse.
She's got a red pocketbook. Should be wherever she is. Bright red shoulder strap.
Alongside the red purse, officers found blue jeans and a blue sweatshirt, clothing that looked identical to what Lee Williams had been wearing on the day of Valina's murder. The clothing was sent to the crime lab for DNA testing. In the meantime, officers received the data from both Lee Williams and Anderson's phones. Phone data revealed a series of texts between the two the day before Valina's death, including one from Lee Williams saying, "I have her keys. Just shut the door." Valina's apartment keys were never found at the crime scene. Officers also mapped Lee Williams' movements through his cell phone data.
When I analyzed Lee Williams' cell phone, I did see that his cell phone was linked to Wi-Fi connection.
Snitch out.
He was at 1 Lincoln Square for a duration of time. And then he left that area. I tracked him back in that area at 1 Lincoln Square. And then he was traveling somewhat northbound in that city area. And then after, he did move throughout the city. And then he returned to that residence.
He was tracked walking through the city with a backpack, but when he returned,
He might
it was
be it.
gone. That missing backpack could be crucial evidence.
Yeah, he threw that in the dumpster. The fact that he used the dumpster that was around the building. Like, come on. Criminals are just... I mean, the criminals on this channel and these body cams are so stupid. Like, so stupid. You're going to kill somebody, use the same clothes, and put it in the dumpster downstairs. You didn't think maybe... let me put these anywhere else but where I just committed a crime? No, you don't think about that because you're dumb.
And finding it might bring officers one step closer to solving the case. Digging deeper, officers tracked him crossing Delaware Avenue at Elm Street, wearing a backpack on one side and without it on the other. Somewhere in that city block, he must have discarded it. Officers searched landfills and alleyways, but the backpack was nowhere to be found.
Okay.
The case seemed to be stalling until a crucial piece of digital evidence surfaced. Investigators found a photo of an engagement ring taken at 6:12 p.m. on the day Valina was killed. Lee Williams had been trying to sell it to a jeweler. When shown to Valina's son James, he confirmed it was her engagement ring.
We responded to the jeweler's place of business and reviewed video surveillance. The video surveillance confirmed that the person who came to his place of business to pawn a ring was Lee Williams.
The only missing piece now was Valina's exact time of death, something the life vest data could finally reveal. The life vest data showed it was active at 2:50 p.m. on January the 4th, with the last transmission at 3:03 p.m. With that time frame, officers could now match keycard records and CCTV footage to see exactly who was in the building when Valina was killed.
And it was the boyfriend.
Showed Lee Williams entering the building around 2 p.m. and leaving shortly after 3:13 p.m. with a backpack. Notably, his jeans had a fresh rip that hadn't been there earlier, possibly from a struggle with Valina. Officers still needed more to convince a jury that Lee Williams was the one who committed the murder.
Yeah, right. But we don't know if that's her shit either. You know, I don't know if that's hers.
Expert gave us the opinion that those footprints were likely caused when the person wearing the shoe stomped on Valina Shepard and then stepped on the floor.
The boots found in Anderson's apartment matched the print pattern but had no blood on them. However, CCTV showed Lee Williams wearing black boots on the day of the murder, boots made by the same company. Investigators believe he discarded them after the murder. Just when it seemed the case was stalling, a man walked into the police station with a bag he'd found. It was the same one Lee Williams had been carrying.
Oh, some random dude cooked you, sniffed you out, and he was just being a good Samaritan. He's like, hey man, I found this bag, I wanted to return it. Oh, tough.
Inside were all the missing electronics from Valina's home. A solid piece of evidence tying him to the murder.
GG's.
The final nail in the coffin came from the DNA results on the jeans and sweatshirt found in the dumpster. Both had Valina's blood and Lee Williams' DNA. Digital, forensic, and surveillance evidence had finally come together to build a strong case against him.
Lee Williams saw Valina Shepard as somebody who was vulnerable. He had seen Valina Shepard counting hundreds of dollars in cash a few days before. I suspect that Lee took money from Valina Shepard's purse.
That's why you don't be showing everybody all this money. Like, I know she's older, but like, damn, you can't. When little mama, when they come to the crib, you tuck it under the bed. You don't show nobody you got all that bread, man. Especially living in a house like that or an apartment, they don't think you have cash like that. And you went and showed them. Rest in peace, man. It's killing an old lady for some money.
Valina Shepard discovered that, and that was why she hid the money in her underwear. She probably confronted him about the money that she was missing. And Lee Williams made the decision that rather than deal with Valina Shepard or her accusations, he was going to kill her. Lee Williams left the building.
Like, come on,
we
dog.
spoke to several witnesses, and at least one of them said that he had tried to sell them several laptops. And then Lee Williams sold the ring.
Lee Williams was convicted of second-degree murder and sentenced to 25 years to life in prison. In the end, it was the digital evidence, paired with CCTV footage, that proved crucial in convicting the right person. Ms. Anderson was cleared of all suspicion and never charged with any crime. Valina Shepard was a fierce, outspoken woman, loved deeply by her family and everyone who knew her. But one person's greed took her life. It wasn't just the loss of a life. It was the loss of her love, her care, and the wisdom she still had to share. A loss her loved ones will feel forever.
We try to keep her alive still. We try to keep her spirit alive. And we try to make sure that my kids know who she is. And for them to not ever forget her.
Damn. Rest in peace.
I miss our conversations. Just to call, say, hey, how you doing? No, I love you, right? Hey, Jay. That's what she's come. Hey, Jay. How you doing? That?
That's tough. That's tough, man. Over a couple dollars, man. Up over $1,000. Like, people, you can't trust nobody. You cannot trust nobody. The same people that will take from you and help you look for it. You can't trust nobody. Rest in peace to her. I'm out.